It's 3:33. I'm talking quietly because Hannah's still asleep. Not my Hannah, Calum's Hannah. Well, she's probably not, she's probably awake because Calum's awake. We are about to hit the road. Just having a little coffee. And we're gonna get on the road. We've got just shy of, just under 2-hour drive to Luton. Not obviously weighing in this morning. I haven't weighed in today or yesterday. We didn't bring the scales. Cal's just kind of going off the look. So I think we're gonna fast. Well, other than the coffee, we're gonna fast until we get to the airport, check in our bags, and I think he's probably gonna have a look at me in a toilet, luxury, and then assess what I'm going to be eating for the day. I've got my first 3 meals prepared as of the sort of same diet we done yesterday. The only other adjustment he might make today is increase the fats. So we've got some almond butter and that in tubs. We've got our scales. And yeah, we will travel on. But other than that, guys, maybe I'll see you at the airport or in Poland. Whatever happens. I'll see. Oh, they're all awake. What's happening, gang? What's going on? Cal's still packing. Am I right to have coffee? I haven't sweetened it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, it's all good. What up? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm pretty fucked right now. I'm feeling pretty wavy. I don't think I said on the clip earlier, but I didn't sleep. Not a minute, man. But anyway, check this out. Look what my boy has got me. The Golden Boy. I've officially been redubbed. T-shirts on sale soon. You can grab them at... Well, they're not on sale anyway yet. I'm pretty fucked, man. Which is what... Oh, okay, cool. Cal's got an oversized bag issue. But basically, we was actually talking about... It's weird that you got this and got the name on it, because we was talking to Mark. Hector, yeah. Yeah, at Shreds, and they was talking about, look, their sponsors are pushing him for a nickname. And he was trying to come up with a nickname for him. Yeah, I said call him the Dorito. Dorito. But yeah, no. And then I was talking about like you wanting to call me Golden Boy, and I was like, I do like it.
I think it helps as well. Like Nick Walker, everyone knows him as a unit now, isn't it?
So that's it. You refer to me as the Golden Boy. I don't refer to me at all.
Times there, isn't it?
I tried to say
It's a joke. Yeah. It's also known as sleep like that.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Countries exempt from self-isolation requirements are reminded to complete the government.
That's it. Hexagon fill up. That's it. Hexagon fill up. Yeah.
Oh, this morning. Nice. Is it that front?
We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. And we're waiting some more. It says gate info at 7:45 and it's now 7:15. Taking the fucking piss. Just had a look in the bathroom, gave Luton a showdown. Cal's happy, Sammy's happy.
Luton Airport's happy.
Had some, yeah, Luton Airport's happy. Had some food, sticking to the same first 3 meals that I had yesterday, which is good. And Calum is thinking that the game plan might have changed. we might carve up tomorrow and then 2 0 days, Friday, Saturday into the show, and then do what we need to on the day. But things might change, who knows. I'm waiting to get on this plane, try and get some sleep, and then I'll see you in Warsaw.
A więcej informacji już podamy w powietrzu. Dziękuję za uwagę i życzę miłego, spokojnego rejsu.
We made it. We made it. Just had meal too. It was banging. Plane journey now. Just under 2 hours. Should get to the Airbnb just before like 1 o'clock, and then we're gonna get my head down and try and get a few hours sleep. And then we'll wake up, we'll go shopping, get a few rounds of posing, get a few meals in, go from there. We made it. We made it. It is a nice gaff. Look at all this light. We chose this gaff because there's plenty of light. Lidl's right down there. Banging. See a load of nice food places on the way up. It's all good. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. Let me take you on a tour. So this is the sofa. That's Big Cow. That's a chopping board. That's a nice chopping board, by the way. The kitchen. There's a library. Yeah, there might be a book or two in there on diet or something, Cow. TV. There's the woman. What's in there? Sammy's having a piss. Don't worry, bro. That is a nice bathroom. Look at that. Where's the boudoir?
There's 2.
There is bedroom number 1 or 2. No, this is bedroom 1. This is where the magic doesn't happen because we're still on prep. Who knows? After a pizza, some magic might happen. No. Whether she likes it or not. Just take it. But no, we're good. We're all here. So it's been not too long a day as traveling is concerned, to be honest. But as I said, I didn't really sleep last night at all. So it kind of feels like a long day. So I'm going to get some sleep for a couple of hours. I think the team are going to go get my food for me because they're awesome. And I'm going to wake up, eat a few meals, do a little bit of posing. And then yeah. Yeah. Hello, YouTube. We are settled. I have food. Oh look, you can see Cow underneath my armpit. Look at that. Got food in me. Cow's checked me over. All is good. Running the same meals as we did yesterday. Final day of the fat loading. The carbs go in tomorrow. We're going to sit down in a couple of hours or whenever, and we're going to have a little chat about how the last few days have gone. Give you guys some insight into the methods behind this man. And yeah, keep you updated on how tomorrow's going. Food's going in tomorrow, so there'll be another full day of eating. I'll show you guys what I'm eating. Get a little bit of training footage. And yeah, I'm gonna eat, so bye. What up, homies and homettes? It is time. I like giving the time. Your phone's dead.
It's not dead. Push the button.
I don't know.
What's that?
It's late. It's about 8 o'clock.
It's 8:30, isn't it?
It's 8:08, man. It's 8:08, so we thought we would sit down and run you through what's been happening for the last sort of maybe 7 to 10 days, maybe take it from the mock load, about how we... I'm gonna let you take it. I've done so much talking. I'm gonna let Cal explain what we've been doing for the last sort of couple of weeks, sort of getting my body weight down, and going into the mock load, which was Friday and Saturday last weekend.
Yeah.
And then pulling us back down, and then what the plans are going to be for the show.
So we basically, probably the last 3 weeks we pulled you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Just to seal off that condition. For John, I think the main areas there are
lower back, and probably to an extent your umbilical as well, because your legs get lean quick.
Yeah.
We spoke about that hamstrings, quads and glutes got quick relatively early, but those areas were the ones that we wanted to kind of nail down and narrow down over the last kind of 2 or so weeks. So on the Friday, we put in our first mock load. So I pulled protein down a little bit. I kept dietary fat a little bit higher than it would have been, about 20-25 grams higher, and then we put in 600 grams of carbs. So he went from a normal baseline diet of 200 grams of carbs and did 600 for Friday. Weight crept up. We monitored, what went on the scale. We monitored what happens to the look.
Pretty full, pretty quick.
Very quickly, yeah. Within probably 2 or 3 meals in that first day.
Yeah, I'd say 2 meals.
So the response was really positive, coming from that more depleted state and then pulling food back in. Did the second day. Obviously, there's no issue here with us blowing past the cap, because we know we can stay under it either way. So that's a kind of a luxury for this grip. I guess we don't have to really worry about squeezing you down yet. So the kind of main take homes for that were, we did 1,200 grams over 48 hours. I felt as though he kind of topped out fullness before the 1,200 grams was hit, because the response in terms of even the first, like you said, 2 meals of the day, it was very quick in terms of glycogen being saturated and life coming back in. And after that second day, moving on to the Sunday, that typical kind of slight film of fluid carried us on Sunday morning, which we could see there was like 2.5 kilos of glycogen and fluid there as well, which dropped off, literally in one day, but it was present on the Sunday.
Just
so
like 4 pound in one day.
4 pound overnight, yeah. So once we did that, mock load done, we looked at where scale weight went, we looked at where the look went, we looked at how the body changed in that time frame, got an idea of roughly where we're going in terms of how much food we're going to need. And generally, as a general of thumb, I'd use body weight times 13 in kilos. So if John is 90 kilos, then we're going to times that by 13, and we're going to get a rough estimate as to where glycogen saturation is going to occur. So for him, it was like, right, we're going to split that into 2 days. And I think the take home from that was, from a visual perspective, in terms of fullness visually, when you pose, it actually kind of peaked even before, a fairly large extent before we actually hit that top end load.
Unfortunately for me, it just means I'm not allowed to eat as much.
So like one thing we spoke about on the flight over was like, it's just not getting into, especially for classic as well, it's not getting carried away with the premise of not trying to fill muscle that's not there. So you're in a position where the food going in is going to have to be reflective of you in that given moment, which is why we run practice runs of these things, and it's why we kind of refine things over time. And if I can get him in a position where he looks his best after 400, 500, 600 grams of carbs, I'm not going to give him any more than that, because we can seal the look there and his body then just cruises into the show. So we're going to get an idea from last weekend of how much we're going to need, and then obviously as we move into tomorrow, that'll be our first take it meal by meal. We're going to go probably tomorrow 100 carb for 6 meals across the day. I'm basically going to pose him and check him in an hour or so after each meal. We'll also pose post workout as well. We've got Sammy here to drill in, because we've got a game plan for tomorrow in terms of posing and what we want to do for the next couple of days, which is again going to inch that condition forwards even more and help the food partition. So for the weekend, Friday, Saturday high, Sunday we then started what we refer to as fat loading. So fat loading is essentially a period of time before you put carbs in, where the focus and the primary goal is to replenish and saturate intramuscular triglycerides. So when you're in a diet and you're in a low calorie state and you're pulling off body fat for weeks and weeks and weeks, there's a high likelihood that your dietary fat has been low for a very long period of time. So for John, in his base diet at the lowest point of prep, it ended up about 25 to 30 grams of fat conclusively across all foods per day. And he was probably there for a good 4 or 5 weeks. And that's where we saw most of the fat loss occur as well, when your calories were at that lower set point. We've also got to appreciate the fact that that also runs you very low from a triglyceride perspective intramuscularly. So when we look at muscular fullness, we've got a few components there. So hydration and electrolyte balance is one component, glycogen is one component, and intramuscular triglycerides are one component. And triglycerides come from dietary fat. So what will often happen is, individuals will move into the show week or their peak, whatever they want to call it, and they'll ram a load of carbohydrates in, but they're not always going to achieve the look they want to achieve from just using carbs at a high amount. And you're often going to get guys that put carbs in and they actually lose weight or start looking flatter because their body starts to upregulate metabolically. They start burning through food very quickly. And the missing component there is covering dietary fat. So instead of us trying to basically achieve everything at once, so to speak, in prep, when we ran the high days, we did higher fat and higher carb.
Yeah.
But for this now, we kind of just systematically run it. So we've now run, this is the third day, isn't it?
Yeah, third day.
We've now run Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, well, it's actually fourth day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday today on dietary fat. And that basically goes into his daily deficit was about 1,700 calories. So all I've done there is I've pulled protein down, I've pulled carbs down, and I've replaced the calories that I've pulled from those two with dietary fat. So his macros for the last 4 days have been around 230 grams of protein. 230, well, it's about a gram per pound of protein, so 220 to 230 grams of protein. Carbs have been about 25 grams, and that's from mainly trace, veg, you know, little bits from fat, avocado, nut butter, etc. And then dietary fat has been 100 grams. So he's basically gone from 25 grams of fat to 100 grams of fat over 4 days. So, you know, 4 times increase. We've ran that for 4 days. The looks got fairly dramatically harder in that time frame as well.
100%. Yeah. This morning was probably
yesterday in the gym and this morning.
Yesterday in the gym and this morning was about the best I've looked.
Yeah, and that was when we draw back to like umbilical, lower back areas that we would have typically seen hold a little bit before. They've been very, very sharp over the last kind of 24, 48 hours. And the beauty is when we start putting fat back in that hasn't been there for a while, you start to come to life because now you've got a macronutrient that's been starved from you for several weeks. And you're in a position where, although we're in a deficit, because we're now replenishing something that's been depleted for a long period of time, we're also starting to see some improvements in just you holding on to fullness as well. So for the last 3 days, he's actually been relatively full during training when he poses. He's coming to life in his posing, which is a good sign that, you know, food's been partitioned and there's kind of fullness stuck in the tissue ready to pop when you pose. In fact, this afternoon, about 4 or 5 hours ago, when we posed on the balcony this afternoon, was the first time that I've started to see, when you look at like that kind of balloon, deflated balloon kind of theory, where when the balloon's full and full of air, i.e. kind of water, salt, carbs, fat, whatever, it pushes out and the detail comes through. And obviously the more depleted you get, the more deflated that balloon gets. So this afternoon was, when you posed in Luton Airport, when you guest posed in Luton Airport, this morning was very good. We've obviously had a very long day of travel. Sleep's been a bit sporadic last night. You've kind of napped across the day, but it's not been ideal. Spend a bit of time on your feet. He's flattened off across the day, and you know, today is now this is now the look where I won't push past that because the risk is too big. So tomorrow, if we ran another pro fat day, I think by the time we got to Friday morning, we'd be trying to bring you back to life in an awkward manner where we push a little bit further than we probably should have. Because then it's a case of, right, we're going to have to fill up really aggressively now. Whereas if we start putting food in tomorrow, his body's very, very ready to partition that food. I imagine tomorrow we're probably going to have 2 meals before he trains. We'll go and do a pump session at the gym down the road, and he'll be very, very full and saturated after 2 meals, 200 grams of carbs. It's going to make a big difference. We want him in that responsive state where if I'm making a change and I'm putting carbs in, his body's just soaking everything up, and we're seeing that change across the day. And the game plan will basically be have circa 600 grams tomorrow, pull dietary fat down a little bit to just alleviate some stress off the GI because it's been high for 4 days. Friday we reassess, and Friday maybe, depending on where the look is, half a day's worth of carbs and then pulling back to fats. Or if you're bang on Friday, maybe just fats. Or if you wake up flat on Friday, we've got scale weight to measure as well, we might put more carbs in. Regardless, the Saturday, this weekend, is a fluid management day. So we know when you eat carbs, you fill up, but you also retain. And quite notably retain. And for you, the best look is starting to flatten off, but still holding enough fullness. Because it's razor sharp and you can pose well and everything's presentable and it's a clean and it's a smooth look. So the goal will be to basically fill them up enough Thursday, Friday, pull back to baseline, which is going to be higher fat, lower carb on Saturday, and then run him into the show on Sunday, and what we need in the morning to hold on to the look. Ideally on Sunday morning, it's a 3 p.m. stage time, so we've probably got 2, max 3 opportunities to get some food in on Sunday. But, you know, Sunday show day, adrenaline's going to be high. You know, it's going to be a lot of excitement there. Stress is going to be relatively high because your endorphins are moving and pumping. We don't want to be slamming a load of food in on Sunday, and the same with water as well. We want to try and keep that pretty controlled because, you know, midsection control, posing, etc. So, you know, by the time we wake up on Sunday morning, we want everything to be absolutely perfect. So we've basically got tomorrow's the main day. Yeah. Friday is the reassessment, put in what we need. Saturday we dry off, and Sunday we go and show the world what you've been working for.
Boom, boom. I think I learnt just as much there as you guys probably did.
Same.
Did you?
Yeah.
I just zoned into that. And
I was literally sitting there with my
I'm sure you guys did as well. Need more be said. That is it. That's the game plan. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Anything to add to that? That's good.
It looks the best I've ever seen him look, like ever. So
yeah,
it's on.
It's fucking on, man.
It's on.
Thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Subscribe, like. If you don't subscribe, I'll eat your next cheat meal. Peace.